So, hallo und herzlich willkommen zur 5. Folge des Let's Read von The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. Wir haben gerade das Kapitel The Boy Down the Street abgeschlossen, wo wir mit Thomas Guerrero sich angefreundet haben, nachdem er mit unserem kleinen Bruder Nathan, wo ist er? The Family, mit Nathan Brante einen Disput hatte. So dementsprechend, ohne weitere Vorrede, starten wir direkt wieder rein und fahren fort. Ingenuity plus 1 ist ein Breit. Matt Thomas, you have made a friend, a boy named Thomas, im Jahre 1126. Jetzt sind wir schon ganze 9 Jahre alt. Wahnsinn, wie die Zeit rennt. Riders on the road. It is blistering hot day, even for the sun-parched land of Magra. As soon as you are done with your studies, you dash outdoors and out of the stuffy room. You and Thomas roll up your shirt sleeve, but it barely helps. You would gladly go shirtless had you only been in the company of other boys, but there are 3 girls in the yard today. They are doing the laundry in a big wash tub, whispering and giggling. If you could, you would gladly keep watching one of them at work. She has big eyes of deep blue. Her dark hair is braided, and her plain grey dress is mended and patched all over. Her name is Sophia. She throws her head back a little when she laughs. The rays of the sun are reflected in her eyes. You, Thomas, and the other boys keep telling silly stories, anything to make her laugh. Sophia. You sure love telling old tales, Timothy. Oh, I remember this one time. But then Sophia hears a voice calling her home. She nods to you and runs across the street smiling. Her light steps carry her forward, but her eyes are looking elsewhere. But then a stone on the road catches her foot. She stumbles and falls flat into the dust. The street starts shaking from the thundering of hoofs. Riders appear on the road from around the corner. They bear a coat of arms you recognize right away. A sable serpent blade upon a field of fur. It symbolizes the Milanidas dynasty, the family of your province's archduke. The horses dash forward, a lost wooden toy on the road cracks under their hoofs. They will not slow down, they are nobles, and the rest must make way for them. Sophia is in the way, just now starting to get back on her feet. Her mother is crying for her desperately from behind the fence door. You freeze in terror. The riders surely see the girl. Are they going to stop, or are they going to trample her? In only a few moments the beautiful girl will be toppled, trampled and crushed. Okay. Stay where you are. Leider haben wir jetzt nicht die Option hier, also leider. Der Würfel kommt diesmal nicht zeitnah zum Einsatz, denn wir haben nicht die Willpower, um Sophia davor zu retten, von den Pferden niedergetrampelt zu werden. Aber wir sterben wir nicht, das hat alles Vor- und Nachteile, ja. Also stay where you are. Wie das in Timothy seinen Charakter reinpasst, das werden wir dann in der weiteren Zukunft weiter diskutieren, aber wir bleiben mal, wo wir sind, genauso wie Timothy. Stay where you are. You stay where you are. You stay where you are least. Moment dabei. You stay where you are less. Letzter Ansatz für den Satz. Sonst überspringe ich ihn auch. You stay where you're lest you get trampled to. You stand frozen by the roadside, unable to look away as the cloud of dust covers the entire street. You feel as if a massive, maddened beast, whipped into a merciless frenzy, has just passed you by. You hear no screams, no cracking bones, nothing but the deafening din of the hoofs. Once the horses are gone and the dust settles, you can finally see the road again, and the repulsive blob of blood, flesh, and bone left on it. You can still see traces of Sophia in that mess, her dark hair, the remains of her dress, but it is no longer her. Sophia earthly remains slowly dissipate and melt into the air. Her mother's eyes are filled with grief as she watches. She hunches over and slowly walks back in the house. You can still hear the riders far away down the road. None of them even bothered to look back. Your friends walk away at a loss of words, at loss for words. You make your way home dazed by what you have seen. You are still dazed as you retell these events to Mother, unable to look up from the floor. After a moment of silence, she embraces you and calms you down. Poor girl, what a terrible, painful death. But you must know that it was not her true death. By the twins' mercy, we are all given enough times in this world. Should you die before your time, you will be brought back by their grace. For 3 times they will rescue you from a terrible fate, but the 4th death is true and final for all. Every loss of a life we were granted at our birth is a heavy blow to us, but the gods told us to not mourn a lesser death. Everybody will keep on living as though nothing has happened, even Sophia's parents. You see Sophia by her house a few days later and she looks completely fine, without such as a scratch. The other children tell you that her parents now forbid her to leave the yard after dying such an early first death. You call out Sophia's name, she looks at you briefly, then walks back inside. Sophia never talks to you again. Naja, schade. Aber was soll man tun? Was soll man machen? Sophia died her first death trampled by noble horsemen. Continue. Schade. Schade. Das lehrt einem doch, links und rechts zu schauen, bevor man die Straße überquert. Year 1128, fall, soil and gunpowder. Sophia disappeared after the terrible incident with the horses. Her friends gossiped that her parents sent her off to serve a rich noble dynasty. You haven't seen each other since that day, but you still remember Sophia's eyes, the sunlight shining in them. But no matter what, life goes on. You are 10 years old now. Your studies continue and you learn more about the land you live in. Anitsotis is an ancient city in an imperial province by the name of Magra. All soil in Magra was turned to ash eons ago, scorched by magic during the rebellion of Duke Char Milanidas. The magical arts are all but gone now, but the scorched earth has remained barren and infertile ever since. Since then, the entire province has lain barren, tormented by cold and scorching winds in equal measure. With few precious plants taking root on their own, all fertile land in Magra is bought elsewhere and brought here by an endless caravan of carts and carriages. To pay for food and soil, the cities of Magra became skilled in many trades, primarily mining and digging for metals and stone. Last fall there was an explosion just outside the city, followed by clouds of thick smoke. The first such incident frightened the citizens, but then explosions and smoke became an everyday occurrence. Soon everyone grew used to it. Father explained that the miners are using a new invention called gunpowder. It makes it easier for them to reach the precious stones and metals buried deep within the earth. Then one day a thunderous explosion rocks the city and black billowing smoke covers the houses. People are stuck in their homes, all windows tightly shut. The air is impossible to breathe. Nathan coughs all the time. Gloria and you cough only when nobody's watching. If mother hears it, she'll make you inhale those not terrible vapors just like Nathan. It takes 2 days for the black smoke to disperse. People pour out onto the streets to meet their friends. Thomas is eager to share everything he knows about this incident with you. Thomas Guerrero. The They took lots of burned up people to the city temple. Mom told me she was helping the healers. There are many rumors. Some claim it was the work of a beast stirred from its slumber, while others say it is surviving witches that continue to threaten the order in the empire with their accursed powers. But as for you, you patiently wait for father to come back home, and then you'll ask him about it. Father spends day and night working at the prefecture, while mother spends all her time in prayer. Ah, mother. It makes a full week for father to finally come home. He's almost completely spent. You muster enough courage during dinner to ask him what happened outside the city. Father raises his head, his face a bleak, weary mask, and starts muttering his proclamation. It's almost as if he doesn't see you. It's the mine outside the city. They were trying to get to a vein of ore. There was an explosion. The mine caved in and the black smoke started flowing. Many workers died there. It was all because Count El Velasco, who owns the mines, wanted to start them to mining that vein before they were ready. Some of the workers weren't even reborn. Perhaps the twin thought their final time had come. The prefecture has been inundated with complaints from families that have lost their breadwinners, asking the judges for help. Many people also lost their cattle to the black smoke. Count El Velasco blames gunpowder for this disaster. The prefecture and the newspaper just repeated whatever he says, but it's plain old greed and tyranny of noblemen that are to blame. Why is the welfare of our province always paid for with commoner lives? Then, without a warning, he grows silent again. You keep thinking about it for days. Can a human life really end so easily? A single moment of bad luck and you die, only to re-emerge from the temple or the family crypt with a new black mark on your arm. Or worse, you remain where you fell, dead, never to be reborn again. Ever. Wir fahren fort. Ja, ein Desaster. Oder Peace, okay. Das ist jetzt nichts, was wir direkt beeinflussen können, da müssen wir jetzt einfach mal mitleben. Stefan's arrival. During lunch, father tells you to stay home in the evening and prepare to meet some important guests. Your elder brother Stefan will return home by dinner tonight. Joining him will be your grandfather Gregor Brante, as well as a noble friend of the family. You are excited about your brother's return. It has been years since you last saw him. How has he changed during his years away from home? You and father await the guest anxiously. The doorbell rings. 3 people are standing outside. Grandfather is the first to come in, naturally. He has not changed a bit since his last visit, still eyeing the house with contempt, looking for any reason to demean it. Grandfather is followed by a stately young man dressed in a jacket embroidered in silver, whom you barely recognize as your brother. Stefan casts a glance at your threadbare clothes, your dirty fingernails, and smirks. Gott, Stefan, kommt zurück, direkt wieder mal ein schlechter Eindruck. The last to enter the house is a personable gentleman with a worn-out, wrinkled face. You have heard a lot about this man from father and grandfather. He is Baron Augustin El Borne, Stefan's uncle, a family friend at the province perfect. The province's prefect, which means that he's the head judge and thus father's superior. Sir El Borne smiles slightly and offers you his hand. And this must be your younger son Timothy, yes? You have your father's eyes, young man. Father bows slightly to grandfather and Sir El Borne, but there is a moment of quiet when Stefan's turn comes. Father reaches out to him awkwardly, expecting an embrace. There's a question in Stefan's eyes as he looks at grandfather. The old man shakes his head almost imperceptibly. We noblemen often put our emotions on public display, father, not even after a lengthy separation. There is no embrace. Instead, Stefan nods to father curtly. He responds in kind, his face devoid of emotion. After the greeting, you proceed to the sitting room. El Borne is the first to enter. He kisses Mother's hand and Gloria's too, and tussles Nathan's hair after he sees him hiding by the table. Grandfather acknowledges them with a glum nod. Greetings, Lydia Brante. I remember you were kind to me when I was but a child, and you must be Nathan. You could barely walk when I saw you last. Your elder brother ignores Gloria completely, not even a greeting. You proceed to the dining room in a dignified manner and take your seats. The dishes smell delicious, but they were merely punctuated the overwhelming tension at the table. El Borne is the only one with a friendly smile on his face. The diner is splendid, Lydia. Did you choose these dishes yourself? You have a truly refined palate. It warms my heart to know Stefan spent his early years with you. Womanly care always does a child good, no matter the estate. Your fork freezes in the air halfway to your mouth. You expect many things from a noble of the sort, but words of praise for a low-born woman are not one of them. You cast a glance at Grandfather. He looks like he's about to choke on those words. Also es sind die Leute, die sie den Status erarbeitet haben und dann einfach richtig ekelhaft sind. Der andere ist wahrscheinlich einfach geborener Nobel. Und da denken sie so, ja, ist nicht so eng. I would do my grandson more good to stay at boarding school among his equals, sagt der Gregor. Please, Gregor. Parenting is no less important. Nothing can replace a mother's love. I cannot deny it. It saddens me greatly that my late sister could not be there to raise Stefan, but there was still a family for him, and he was surrounded by love. How could that be bad? And besides, his father was by his side all the while. A father's example is always the best. After all, Robert earned the judge's rank the same way you did. Your grandson will surely follow in your footsteps, and you know perhaps even the younger man of the Brante family will contribute to the you clumsy low-born cretin. Everybody is startled by this sudden outburst. Grandfather's face turns red. He's glaring at a young lady servant holding a pitcher over a glass. Stefan is sitting right next to her, dabbing a napkin on a fresh stain on his jacket. Be gone this instant! The lady servant runs away, leaving the pitcher on a small table by the door. After a quiet moment, El Borne smiles again. It appears the servants have left us, yet dinner is far from over. Worry not, Uncle. There are enough commoners at this table to keep us served with food and drink. Stefan glares at Gloria across the table. She's sitting right next to you. She shrinks down and hunches over under his gaze. Father furrows his brows. Mother covers her mouth with trembling hands. Grandfather sneers. Stefan's gaze does not move. The silence lasts far too long. Stefan. Then she starts to rise from her chair. If the Brante gentleman so wish it. Your hands clench into fists under the table. How can he bring himself to humiliate his own family, his own mother and sister like this? It is all Grandfather's doing. Stefan could not even bring himself to embrace father without his permission, and yet they are noblemen and they have the right to act this way. If there is any way this dinner can become even more unbearable, you do not want to see it. Okay. Schau mal, wie er jetzt darauf reagiert. Er hat ja eigentlich, muss ich jetzt ganz ehrlich sagen, der Kollege Timothy bis jetzt, er war nicht immer das beste Geschwisterchen zu haben, sage ich mal. Also, er hat schon den einen oder anderen 31er geschoben. Einmal bei der Gloria und einmal beim Kollegen Nathan. Also, schauen wir mal, wie es jetzt weitergeht. Insult your brother. Make small talk over dinner. And showing Gloria in her plight. Also 1, 2, insult your brother, 3, 4, make small talk over dinner and 5, 6, join Gloria in her plight. Es ist eine 1 tatsächlich. Insult your brother. Das gibt uns Ingenuity plus 1. Das gibt uns Relations mit Stefan, Brante, Bad Blood. Mit Gloria plus 1. Ja, ich meine, es ist wie es ist. Insult your brother. Good. You grab Gloria by the arm and keep her seated. Stefan turns a puzzled gaze toward you. With a wry smile, you open your mouth. Stefan, how did you have the gall to speak without Sir Gregor's permissions? Surely you wouldn't even answer nature's call without his leave. Stefan looks at grandfather, completely flabbergasted. And then, chaos. Grandfather roars with fury. Father stares you down with a disappointed look in his face. Gloria tries again and again to contain her laugh. Nathan hides under the table. Ja, das ist ja Nathan-like. Sir L. Bornay is unsure what to do. Stefan looks like he's about to cry. Oh Gott, das ist ein Lappen. Ist nichts weiter als ein Lappen, Kollege Stefan. Meine Herren. Geh wieder solche Kabeln. Then mother takes your hand and leads you out the dining room. You expect to be locked in your room as usual, but instead she leads you outside to an unlit shed. I'm locking you in here for the night, son. Your presence tonight would be an insult to our noble guests. It's time you learned the meaning of humility. Diese Frau. Links, rechts. Kombination, Alter. Regt mich so auf. Ist witzlos. You do your best to fall asleep inside the shed on the cold wooden floor. Anything to make this rotten day end sooner. Grandfather's cries of outrage can still be heard from the house. Gloria sneaks out to the shed in the middle of the night. She calls to you from behind the wooden planks. There is gratitude in her voice. I never thought you would defy them like that. Thank you so much for standing up to them. Sir Gregor got so mad he forgot all about me, so I ran away. Sir El Bornay took Stefan away with him. How are you doing in there? You're not going to freeze to death, are you? It's nothing, you tell her. It's nothing you tell her. You will live. The important thing is that grandfather and Stefan finally left her alone. You defended your sister's honor tonight. Bad blood. You defied your elder brother and he now holds a grudge against you. Er ist einfach ein Waschlappen. Stefan. Sympathie steigt sie, wir sind noch immer breit. Und wir sind im Jahre 1129. A dropped handkerchief. Hot, dry wind swept through the city from the barren lands around it. The noble residents of Anizote prefer to remain in their chambers, while the commoners huddle in tents or in the shade of the silver tree. You are on an errand right now. Your father wrote a letter to the noble acquaintance, and you are to deliver it. Thomas, the boy down the street, is tagging along. The two of you are inseparable now. The errand is an easy one, so you decide to take this opportunity to loiter around the part of Anizote where the nobles live. So here you are, in the middle of the city square, resting on the ancient brickwork by the old fountain in the merciful shade of the gargantuan silver tree. Also ich schätze mal jetzt aus wie gigantisch. Vielleicht nicht. Thomas is by your side, lazily sludging on the edge of the fountain's basin. It's a hard life for commoners like you and me. Either you break your back in a workshop day and night, hoping someone will buy your goods someday, or you become a manservant to some noble. You never get a chance to enjoy life. This is our lot, you remind him. We work and endure and suffer. But Thomas waves your words away. Yeah, I know all that already. Mother keeps drilling that stuff into me. We must be humble. Our strength is patience and persistence. So yeah, I say, but I wanna make my fortune no matter what. So how ain't that living by my lot, I ask you? But the lots, they ain't easy. Let's take you for example, Brante. Your father's a nobleman, but even if that didn't make you one, just look at your hands. You never had to work as hard as me, but we have the same lot, so we are supposed to suffer the same. Or look at your father, he's a judge. He toils at the prefecture day and night, doing his judging, and he's a noble. I've never seen an Arknian work as hard as he does. You shrug. The Arknians are a different race. The books say they were born to rule over humans. They are never commoners, always nobles by the sword, by birth. They founded the empire after subduing all the human kingdoms on the continent. Humans will never be their equals. Arknians are always better, smarter, stronger, and their skin is a noble shade of blue, if the books are to be believed, of course. If you have never seen one yourself. Your idle chatter is suddenly interrupted by a rugged-looking guardsman dressed in black and green. He chases you away from the fountain. Common rebel like you have no place here. You hear the clattering of hoofs and wheels against the cobblestones, and see flags bearing a coat of arms. A sable sergeant in a field of fur. It makes you squirm. It is the Archduke's coat of arms. The Milanidas dynasty. The carriage door opens, revealing a young lady in a luxurious dress. You cannot look away from her. Those dainty shoulders suggested, but not revealed by the cut of her dress, her black hair cascading over them, her stately slim silhouette, her pouty lips and prim nose, and those eyes, dark like the night sky, the way she moves, fluidly, gracefully, and most incredible of all, her skin close and azure blue. She is a masterpiece given life. She is an Arknian. Octavia Milanidas, clear the way from me. The Milanidas guardsmen work quickly to clear the way to the fountain of the Arknian lady. The searing sun dances on her skin in the bizarre patterns. With one elegant motion she reveals a handkerchief, then leans over the basin and wipes her head and neck with its cool water. Thomas Guerrero again. Well, I'll be. That's Octavia Milanidas, our Archduke's own daughter. The Arknian turns away and proceeds gracefully back to the carriage. You see something slip out of her hand and fall onto the cobblestones right next to you, her handkerchief. It is right there by your feet. Intricate craftsmanship, expensive woven fabric, delicate decorated with emerald filigree. Your heart skips a beat. Will you dare draw the beautiful Arknian's attention in order to return her lost possession, or would you rather not attempt the cross to chase him between you and her? Stash the trophy, or keep the handkerchief as a memento? Das geht nicht. Mit der Willpower nicht rum. Also wir können you quickly hide the trophy, planning to sell it later. Keep the handkerchief as a memento. You watch the Arknian lady depart, trying to burn her every moment into your memory. Gut. Dann hätte ich gesagt 1, 2, 3, stash the trophy. 4, 5, 6, keep the handkerchief as a memento. Es ist eine 5. Keep the handkerchief as a memento. You watch the Arknian lady depart, trying to burn her every moment into your memory. You carefully observe Lady Octavia as she leaves. Her delicate figure moves through the square like a waking dream. her elegant hands gliding through the air, her hair flowing in the light breeze, your eyes watching all of her. She returns to the carriage, leaning on a guardsman's shoulder as she gracefully climbs back inside. The soft handkerchief feels warm in your hand. You fold it carefully and hide it in your pocket. The carriage drives away, marked by the thudding rhythm of hoofs. Until that day, you associate the Milanidas dynasty with nothing but indifferent cruelty. But now your breast pocket holds the proof of yet another quality they possess: Beauty. Also haben wir die Willpower gekriegt und fahren fort. Also einfach mal geschnappt. Hoffentlich mochte das nicht in Rudi von Jobless Reincarnation. Es war da schon der Spur grindig. The Quorum Decree. 12-year-olds now, you overhear an important conversation. It is a spring night and mother has just sent everyone to bed. You walk past father's study and hear voices coming from beyond the door. Grandfather is yelling and father is replying quietly. The elder Brante men are fighting, arguing about the place of commoners in the city. You sneak outside to avoid mother's attention and hide next to the open window of the study. Perhaps they will mention you too. That low-life idiot had the gall to pay me a visit and beg me for some service. He had the insolence to ask me outright. He thought I was going to support his claim for the chairman's seat in the lesser quorum. How dare he? Father, please listen. Maya Egmont may be a lowborn, but he carries a lot of clout in Magra. He grows 5 iron mines. A friend like him could be quite useful. Should he become the chairman of the lesser quorum. I don't give a damn who this Egmont is, Robert. What he is, however, is lowborn. His lot is humility and obedience. The likes of him can never rule anything. They are nothing but a flock of sheep that need a firm, noble hand to guide them. I wasted so many years trying to quash the quorum decree, but that accursed Cornelius Tempest did everything in his power to make the emperor sign the pathetic screed, and now even lowlifes can wield power. True power, Robert. Just the right to discuss the size of the Archduke's tax, nothing more. That is only the beginning. What's next? Are they going to arm the lowlifes now? Make them into judges? If the empire rejects the foundations and the lords, the entire edifice will crumble. Edifice will crumble? Bah! Who am I telling this to? It is already crumbling, and you, my son and heir, are a harbinger of its destruction. Father, I'm begging you. I do not wish to marry a third time. Lydia is a good wife and a dutiful mother to my children, if you would only allow her to. I will allow them nothing, neither Egmont nor that free-loading wench of yours. What will you want me to do next? Live by the laws of the lowborn? I can already see where this is going. I'd rather run my own sword through my gut than live in a country where nobles and lowlifes share the same rights. God. Bei ihm kann man nur spam. My only dream is to see the name of Brante in the blue book, but that dream will never come true. They will never call me Venerable El Brante, and it's all because of this marriage of yours. My only hope is to hear Stefan addressed in such a manner one day. Thank the twin gods I didn't let you ruin the boy. He's about to grow up a true nobleman. His children will bear the name of El Brante. You have 2 more grandsons. Those spineless milksops from the common lot, they are incapable of anything. The best your middle son could do is sneak into the Imperial College and get ennobled by the mantle, although I have grave doubts about even that. As for the downtrodden Nathan, I hold out no hope for him whatsoever. You hear grandfather's heavy footsteps, the thudding of his cane and the slamming of the door. It's time to sneak back home before you're discovered. Meine Herren. Ja, also jetzt nochmal, kann man so sagen, mit Blick auf die Uhr, abschließend zu dieser Let's Read-Folge. Meine Herren, also das ist wirklich, also ich will jetzt nicht politisch werden, aber da stellt sich bei mir stellen sich bei mir die Nackenhaare komplett auf. Ich meine, ich habe nicht wirklich Nackenhaare, nicht, aber wenn ich heute hätte, die imaginären Nackenhaare stellen sich auf. Na gut, da werden wir trotzdem jetzt fortfahren, dass wir dann schon sehen, wie wir bei was für ein Kapitel wir das nächste Mal starten. Oh. Overseeing Power. Okay. Das hat sich auch nochmal geändert. School begins. You started studying at the school of Sir Tibor and began to master the sciences. Nice. Na gut, sehr schön. Dann will ich mich verabschieden mit dem Kapitel A Storm of Expectations, denn das werden wir uns dann bei der nächsten Let's Read-Folge schön gemeinsam geben. Dementsprechend vielen Dank fürs erneute Zuhören, mehr oder weniger. Weil wirklich viel Gameplay ist es nicht und das Gameplay wird auch gewürfelt. Also dementsprechend vielen Dank fürs Dabeisein beim Erleben dieser Geschichte. Man hört und sieht sich. Ciao, ciao.